familiar with Jadwin Jim, serving as an assistant twice in her tenure. 2 seasons as a director of basketball operations and a couple of years on staff under Courtney Banghart. Followed her to North Carolina for a couple of years. And now in year 3 at Harvard, taking this program to new heights. On the opposite side, it's Carla Berube. Season 5, year 6, took over in 2019 for the aforementioned Courtney Banghart and has built quite a castle on top of what this program already was when she took it over. 110 wins in 131 career games.
Right. Princeton has been at the top of the Ivy League for several years now. Harvard, on the other hand, has been on the rise. This is such a big game. We're so stoked for this, John. I mean, we worked together last week, and we were looking forward to this one. I think we're in for a real treat.
Two of the best defenses in the Ivy League and in the nation. Harvard is top 40 in the nation in scoring defense, and that is what this Princeton team has built. And I think the moment we are worried about here is the smoke that's sort of hanging over half of the court where Princeton was just introduced.
Yes, I just noticed that. It's a little bit eerie. I mean, it definitely adds to the dramatic effect.
Well, maybe we just need to run through there with a couple of flags to move that smoke out of there.
The smoke knows what kind of matchup this is. We want all the smoke today.
Let's bring it. That Tiger bench will be so important for Carla Berube and the Tigers. Game's opening tip is controlled by Olivia Hutcherson, and we are underway. One of the most anticipated games in the Ivy League all season long. Harvard at 12-1. And the Tigers turn it over on their first possession.
Right away, you see the defensive intensity. It's something to watch all game long. Princeton has to work through that defensive pressure that Harvard will put on them constantly.
Expect to see quite a bit of press from Harvard today. This is Harmony Turner, defended by Fadima Tall, and Elena Rodriguez, defended by Hutcherson. Atira, the first-year point guard, has the first points of the day for the Crimson.
Great job using a little bit of a mismatch size advantage over Ashley Chia.
Chia breaks the timeline with 1 second to spare. Chia directing traffic, screen roll game with Fadima Tall. She draws 2. Glenn Bello nearly took it away. 3 on the timer. A blocked shot at the rim by Rodriguez.
Once again, just a great defensive stand there by Harvard.
Turner sees a crowd. That's part of the keys for Princeton in this game to make sure no easy touches for Harmony Turner. It's Elena Rodriguez with size on Chia, and she scores it.
So second scoring possession in a row in which Ashley Chia ended up switching onto a player, and Harvard was able to convert and get a couple of buckets.
Look at the handles from Parker Hill.
She's impressive.
Around the back? Are you kidding me?
Does it all.
Here's Hutcherson. Dribbled it again. That may have been a double dribble. 7 on the shot clock. Chia was blocked. Turner breaks out of the pack. Numbers for Harvard. Harmony Turner had it knocked away. Good hands from Hutcherson.
That was quite the break for Princeton. I mean, once again, Harvard just turning it up all over Princeton defensively, but the fact that Princeton was able to prevent an easy bucket on the other end, that's a win.
Gabby Anderson hounding Fadima Tall. Here comes the double. Foul is called. It's on Anderson, as Fadima Tall lost her footing as she crossed half court.
Anderson's first personal.
Yeah, I think Coach Carrie Moore will take that just because the idea is there, and that's that pressure that we will be talking about all game.
Off the inbound, it's loose on the floor. Anderson, the first one to the floor. Possession arrow pointing in Harvard's direction.
seeing it up close, it's really easy to tell why Harvard is so strong defensively. I mean, they have just been absolutely relentless, and we're only a couple of minutes in, but if they can keep this up, it's going to be really challenging for Princeton to just get their feet under them.
It's the length across all 5 positions that are key to this Harvard defense. The shortest starter is Turner at 5'10". Tira comes to get it. Rodriguez spinning on tall, and Elena Rodriguez is 2 for 2.
What a beautiful spin move by Rodriguez. Made it look easy.
Belker, what a find. Parker Hill has the first points for Princeton.
First points for Princeton come on a pretty highlight play. Belker with the dime.
Belker, a breakout sophomore campaign as Harvard turns it over. Started every game as a first year for Princeton. Belker's been dealing with an ankle issue. She's also got the brace on her left knee today. Sat out the game against Lemoyne on New Year's Eve, but since the injury to Madison St. Rose, Maria Sky Belker has really taken off.
She really has. It was a question coming into today. You know, would she be ready to go? She did tweak that ankle again a week ago, but that's the nice thing about the Ivy League. You get a few days of rest in between games, and both of these teams are not worrying about classes at the moment, so this is kind of the perfect time for this matchup between student athletes.
7 on the shot clock. Parker Hill with the left hands. That is the key to Princeton's offense this year. Hill and Tabia Monze together at that 5 spot. Both of them outstanding with the ball in their hands offensively.
Parker Hill building on that career-high 18-point and career-high 9-rebound performance a week ago.
Turner's first look is off the mark. Glenn Bellows chased off the 3-point line, and she's called for a travel.
Yeah, maybe just rushed it a little bit. I really liked the way that she was able to create space. Just got called for an extra step.
Different types of full court pressure. That's what we can expect to see from Harvard today. Turner nearly came up with it. Princeton just breaks in time.
And the trouble with this press is not just getting through it, but once you do get over the half-court line, you're well into the shot clock, and everything just becomes a little bit more rushed.
Tall missed it. Hutcherson with the putback for Princeton. We're tied at 6.
That's a winning play for Hutcherson. It's not always going to be pretty, but it's got to be gritty, and she's down there to clean things up.
Hutcherson has the assignment on Harmony Turner right now for Princeton. Turner steps back for 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound, Gabby Anderson. Junior guard, originally from Columbus, Ohio. She had 20 in the season opening win over UMass, which I think was a pretty good indication of how good this Harvard team is. Fadima Tall breaks the trap. Hutcherson on the baseline. That's good.
I was impressed with Fadima Tall's ball handling that time. We've talked about Parker Hill before. These Princeton players, very versatile.
Sanaya Glenn-Bello comes to get it. That's for 3 and left it short. Turner has an offensive rebound. Foul against Princeton.
Great play by Turner, and that's what's so impressive about her as well. It's the scoring, it's the rebounding, steals, all of it, and we're all tied up midway through the first. Too, so still been a couple years, since Harvard has bested Princeton.
And Carrie Moore taking a great program to new heights. Highest net ranking in program history this year. They're number 36 entering play today. They've received votes in the AP's top 25 poll for 7 consecutive weeks. First time in program history. Katie Krupa is in the game for the Crimson. Shot clock is at 5. Rodriguez against Tall. No good. Hutcherson wins the battle for the rebound. Princeton is happy to have Fadima Tall initiate their offense. She's truly a guard in a post player's body.
I know. And that's what I was saying before. Just when you look at her size, her ball handling ability, her ability to stretch the floor, put up shots from 3, like right here.
Rebounded by Harmony Turner. Probably the leading candidate for the Ivy League's Player of the Year award. 3-ball up for Rocco, and that's good. That's exactly what Elena Rocco does. First-year guard off the bench from Pittsburgh.
Turner's going to draw a lot of attention, so her ability to find the open teammate is going to be crucial. Rocco, the best three-point shooter on Harvard, able to knock it down.
Turnover by Fadima Tall, just the third for Princeton in this first quarter. And, we were talking to Carla Berube about this, Princeton's head coach. She said, well, what's different about Harvard this year? She says, well, there's one major departure. Lola Mullaney, one of the great three-point shooters in program history, but everybody else on the roster, a year more experienced. All those reps they got as first year and as sophomore players under Carrie Moore and her staff are really starting to pay off for them.
Another year with the core playing together. You're right. Carla noting the experience as the main factor. And certainly I would say the growth of Harmony Turner as well. I mean, she is a two-time All-Ivy League team member. But according to her coach, Carrie Moore, I mean, she's even more mature. She's attacking her work ethic even more than she ever has. And you're seeing that show up on the stat sheet each and every game.
Turner, it's a brilliant career. Over 1,600 career points entering play today. It's fifth most in program history. 16:48 entering this one. 3-point lead for the Crimson. 3 minutes to go in the first. Tabby Amanze is on the floor for the first time with Tall, Belker, Chia, and Toby Nowecki. Here is Chia, and she's got 3 for Princeton.
I'm beaming from ear to ear right now. I can't not do that when I watch Chia sometimes. She's so smooth. Her game is just so flashy. The step back.
Turner scores it, plus a foul on Amanze.
First basket of the game for Harmony Turner, now 1 of 4 from the field. And Turner, struggled a bit for her standards as far as shooting the basketball a week ago in the game against Yale.
It's one of those interesting gut check games for Harvard. Yale's off to a tough start this year, Maria, but Harvard wasn't at their best. Shots were not falling in that game, and they sort of had to rely on their defense. Here is Amanze putting it on the deck, and she scores it. You can see the ability for Tabby Amanze, junior forward originally from Ogun, Nigeria. Played her high school ball at Blair Academy here in the Garden State. Rocco, another try. No good.
Same spot from beyond the arc as before. Can't knock it down this time.
It's a Harvard team that's a bit deeper this year. They had a couple of injuries early last year. Carrie Moore was telling us about this, about how when these two teams saw each other in March last year, Maria, that she didn't really have a deep bench. She could really only play 8 or so. Sky Belker's got her first points of the day.
Sky Belker looking hale and healthy. Nice turnaround. A little bit of a fade on the jumper. But yeah, speaking more about Turner last week, 6 of 21 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. So definitely a challenge for her, but she was able to impact the game in other ways. 8 boards, 5 steals.
Abigail Wright can't get the roll. Amanze, the rebound for Princeton. She's in some trouble as Turner got a hand on.
Substitution for Princeton. Onto the floor, number 44, Katie Pierce.
Well, you see just how hard it is to break this Harvard pressure because of the presence and speed of Harmony Turner. She's 4th in the nation in steals per game. Katie Thiers is on the floor for the first time for Princeton. It's into Belker, and she's fouled by Gabby Anderson.
Just slightly over aggressive there for Anderson on the reach.
Harvard foul, charge number 5, Gabby Anderson.
But still, even with a couple of fouls on the floor, I think Princeton just feeling that pressure is going to pay dividends for Harvard in this game. Just getting them off balance, regardless of whether you draw the foul.
Turner got a piece of that one. First one to the floor is Krupa. Another jump ball. Possession arrow pointing in Princeton's direction. That's how this game is going to play out. Gritty, hard-nosed. Both these teams love to get in the gaps defensively. Princeton trying to get out and run a little bit more this year. Belker. Shot clock is at 6. The first year, Toby Nowicki. Katie Fears doesn't see the clock. Fears had it ripped away by Sanaya Glenbello. Turner, a 3. No good.
Still a signature stop there for Harvard. Everything you want in a defensive possession. And even though prior to that, the possession arrow was awarded to Princeton, seeing Katie Krupa being the first to dive on the floor, is that not emblematic of what she is as the team's captain, voted by her peers in preseason?
Christina Perella and Taylor Charles are on the floor for the first time for the Tigers. Who we should remember are without Madison St. Rose, junior guard who suffered a season-ending injury. Charles, it's a 10-second violation forced by Glenbello and Harvard.
Carla Berube told us about it this week, just working so much in practice simply about how to break this Harvard press.
What are the keys to it now that you've seen a quarter of it?
I mean, well, you see when Taylor Charles coming in, maybe a little bit less experienced, it creates issues. But to me, it's quick passes. The second you hesitate, that trap is going to come, and then you're going to be in trouble. So it's really quick decisions, and I don't love a lot of dribbling through a press. I like to pass the ball way up the floor.
Final seconds of the clock. Hatira putting it on the deck. Tough shot with the left is no good. Fight for the rebound. Shot didn't hit the rim. So Princeton forces a shot clock violation of their own.
Neither team has really looked in control so far. Everything has been so haphazard in a good way.
Charles gets it into Chia. Final seconds of the first quarter. Chia under 5. Finds Amanze, and it's off the back of the rim.
Oh, wow. John, you're grabbing your heart.
What an incredible play by Chia to get that ball to Amanze in the final seconds. It's a 1-point game after 10 minutes. Expecting today, both teams shooting over 40% in the first quarter. And, you know, Maria, that's been a difference for this Princeton team this year. You look at that field goal percentage, built quite a bit on Parker Hill, Tabby Amanze, scoring at the front of the rim, but also much better three-point shooting team overall.
And I also think a big reason why Princeton can be so efficient from the field is their ability to share the ball. An assisted shot rate of 64.8%, so that's the percentage of field goals assisted by the team. That's number 28 in the country.
Turner, Hatira, Rodriguez, this is Krupa, and Glenbello, the 5 for Harvard to start the second quarter. Turner comes to get it, defended by Hutcherson. The kick out, Elena Rodriguez, that's a 2. Rebound is won by Turner, no good. Glenbello breaks out with it. Another opportunity for the Crimson. Turner, Glenbello to the baseline, Sanaya Glenbello scores it.
And why does that basket happen? Because of the offensive rebounding ability of Harvard, just fighting for those boards.
Nice adjustment by Princeton against that full court pressure. We're bringing a player down the sideline and putting it into a point guard's hand. Christina Perella in this case. Chia, Hill, what a connection they have created between each other. Parker Hill, one of the most efficient scorers in the country, top 10 in the nation in effective field goal percentage. 3 for 3 to start her afternoon.
Yeah, 73% shooting on the season for Parker Hill, just absolutely outstanding. And Chia helping her too by putting her in those positions to succeed, able to score on that drive easily over Harmony Turner.
Already the third assist for Ashley Chia. She had a career-high 7 last Saturday against Cornell. Rodriguez denied at the rim. I think that was Perella on the backside. The outlet pass, dangerous. It's on the floor and a tie-up. This one pointing in Princeton's direction.
Ooh, everybody getting their hands dirty. Everybody diving on the floor. This game has been physical. And it's kind of been great for us because, to your point, we maybe expected like slightly lower scoring or, having a tougher time scoring the basketball, but we've seen the scoring, but we've also seen these gritty plays.
Tall, smart decision. Princeton running a little bit of offense. Parker Hill's got a mismatch in the post. Can the Tigers find the mismatch? It is Hutcherson after the terrific catch. We've got a foul on the shot. It's going to go on Glenn Bello, hitting the elbow of Olivia Hutcherson.
Makes sense. Her shot did look a little out of control.
Free throws for the sophomore guard. Originally from Johns Creek, Georgia. Hutcherson played all of 22 minutes a year ago. Carla Berube telling us earlier this year on the Get Stops podcast, she's the most improved player in the program by a lot. Jump shot has gotten a lot better. She's always been a great athlete. That's evident on the offensive glass. But this year, now with the injury to Madison St. Rose in the fourth game of the campaign, she's going to be asked to do a lot.
Right. Well, she's started every game since Madison St. Rose injured her knee.
0 for 2 for Hutcherson at the stripe.
About 67% free throw shooter on the season.
Hatira calls her own number, and Hutcherson skies to the rafters for the rebound, then had it knocked away. Hill throws it away inside. Fresh possession for Harvard. Turner crossing, runs into a crowd, and she travels.
Hutcherson still has only one field goal, 1 of 5 from the floor. She's definitely been bothered by the size of Princeton. Although she's been doing the bothering herself as well on the defensive end, so it goes both ways.
Boy, this pressure is a problem right now for Princeton. Tigers able to break it. Belker skips it to Fadima Tall, putting it on the deck against Turner. Tall steps through and scores with the left hand.
That was such an impressive play by Fadima Tall, just again showcasing that versatility, faking the jump shot, which she's more than capable of making, but putting it on the deck and just using her athleticism to score with ease.
Glenn Bello, no good off the back of the rim. A foul against Harvard on the rebound. It is Krupa coming in from behind. I mean, the amount of confidence and strength it takes to make that play, Maria.
Yeah. Beats not one, but 2 defenders. Nice patience, nice little hesitation.
And to do it with your offhand?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Rodriguez broke it up. Hill recovers. Chia settles for Princeton.
Harvard just expending so much energy on the defensive end. I think they're deep enough to withstand that as the game goes on, though.
Shot clock at 5. Chia shakes free of Glenn Bello. Missed it. Rodriguez the rebounds. Off and running are Harvard. 10 straight wins for them. Hutcherson knocked that one away.
This has been so high octane. Just, there aren't any easy baskets, I feel like, on either side. Everything is contested. These players want this so badly. And they're both incredibly deep as you see the substitutions coming in and out.
Monze, Nowecki pop off the bench for Princeton. It's into Elena Rodriguez. At 6'2", she's got such a great ability to put the ball on the floor. A foul is called, and it's on Rodriguez, an offensive foul.
I didn't quite see the contact there.
Carrie Moore is begging for an explanation.
I think she was saying how, and I kind of have the same question.
Tall picks up her dribble. Nowecki breaks the pressure. Ahead to Amanze. She scores it.
Right there, that is the key. That was perfect execution of breaking the Harvard press.
Glenn Bello. Chia saved it, but she was out of bounds.
Yeah, Princeton giving Harvard a little bit of a taste of their own medicine here with the pressure, just ball pressure, forcing them off balance a little bit. Harvard only shooting 35% from the floor right now as compared to 59% for Princeton.
Turner missed.
And sometimes when you finally get space, it's tough to get into a rhythm. And there is a bucket for Toby Nowecki.
Leads to a Harvard timeout. Princeton has opened up a 7-point lead.
With 4 points. Both of them 6'4". They're just a lot to handle.
Gabby Anderson back on the floor for the Crimson. Held to just 2 points to this point in the second quarter. Here's Elena Rodriguez. The kick out, Turner.
I thought that pass was a bit forced by Rodriguez.
Rodriguez fakes out the D, but can't score it. On the runner, Amanze pulls down the board.
That's a couple times now I've seen Harvard do the work to get space, but not able to finish the play. And that happens sometimes when you're just not in a rhythm throughout the game because of the defense that Princeton is employing.
Belker was the target. Princeton has turned it over for just the 6th time in the first half.
Great idea, but just unable to connect with Belker. This is Harvard's time now. This is where they really need to not let this game get away and chip away at the lead.
Harvard is 7 of 22 from the field, just shy of 32%.
And I think exactly what they're doing right now is key, the ball movement. I was actually just going to say I didn't want to see quite as much dribbling. I want to see more quick passes because I think the length of Princeton is disrupting their ball handling.
Frustrating first half for Harmony Turner. Third turnover, tagged against her. Belker draws a crowd. Tall. Princeton, you really have to play with poise. And with that clock working against you in the backcourt.
Princeton has settled in nicely in terms of breaking the press. I mean, it's still a challenge to be sure, but they definitely look more comfortable than they did in the first quarter.
Amanze missed it. Gabby Anderson breaks out, junior guard. Played her high school ball at IMG Academy in Florida. Glenn Bello, no good. Anderson, an offensive rebound, and then threw it away. Chia. Amanze. She traveled.
Good hands there by Harvard. And I can see Harmony Turner, she's right in front of us right now, and she's saying, like, calm down. She's making the gesture with her hands, slow it down. And I agree.
So easy to get sped up when there is such pressure applied to you, as Princeton does in their player-to-player defense.
They got to be patient, you know. Sometimes they're rushing shots. Even if you go deep in the shot clock, wait for the best shot to materialize right here.
Anderson not able to get it to Rodriguez, and it leads to a turnover.
And the issue there was Anderson picking up her dribble too soon. It left her with no options. I don't want to see too much dribbling, but you do sometimes need to keep that dribble if you don't have a pass available to you in the moment. You know, don't pick up that dribble before you ID where that pass is going.
Chia had it knocked away by Carly White. Possession arrow pointing in Harvard's direction.
Great job by Carly White and great hustle play to force that held ball, which now results in a chance for Harvard.
Carly White, an important sophomore off the bench. Carrie Moore noting how she's just been so coachable, gotten better and better, embraced the process of improving her game individually. Turner got it back. Anderson set. No good, off the back of the rim. Princeton ball off the rebounds.
Again, there are times where we're seeing Harvard get the right look, and they're just not knocking it down.
Gabby Anderson, she's been in a bit of a shooting slump of late. Now 7 of her last 25 from three-point range. Below 30%, but some of those shots are going to fall eventually for Gabby Anderson. They have all year.
We know about the full court pressure for Harvard, but in the half court, they need to get some steals and get out and run to get their confidence up and start making a dent.
Shot clock's at 4. It's Hutcherson. That's good. Probably the limit of her jump shooting range. Olivia Hutcherson, 2 critical field goals on the baseline. She's got 6 in the first half.
She was wide open, ready for it, no hesitation.
Turner, Anderson, 10 on the timer. Anderson, she's in some trouble. Ball is loose. Turner with 3. That missed it all. Another shot clock violation forced by Princeton, but no stoppage.
Harvard needs to do a better job of utilizing screens, working off screens.
Chia measuring Hatira. Hutcherson in the corner, inside Hill. Toby Nowicki. Tall, tries a 3. That's no good. Loose ball for the rebound. Parker Hill goes into the Harvard bench.
Returning Christina Perella.
Trying to find out when the last time Harvard scored was. You happen to know?
It's been a while.
They've been stuck on 16 at least since the midway point when we took a timeout in the second quarter here.
It was the Sania Glenbello layup at 9:22. That's their only points in the quarter.
Well, then I feel like I'm glad I asked.
Turner finally breaks the drought for Harvard.
Big bucket for Turner. They got to get some momentum here going into halftime, and especially Turner.
Final minute of play in the second quarter.
Christina Perella, no good from beyond. White to a leaking Rocco, no good.
Oh, great idea. Trying to get the 2-for-1 opportunity, but again, just slightly rushed.
Harvard's changing up their defense, going to the 3-2. Perella's pass tipped. Tall's got it. 10 on the timer. Parker Hill, no good. Offensive rebound, Fadima Tall. Hutcherson for 3. That's no good. And Turner settles it. Harvard can hold for the final possession of the first half.
I like Turner slowing it down. You got plenty of time. Don't wait too long, but just get a good look.
Turner. Tough shot. Rebounded by Tall. Final seconds of the half. Chia heaves it. It would have counted.
Little surprised. Thought there might have been a bit of contact on that shot attempt, but here we are. Harvard's going to have a lot to talk about at half.
It's a question of offense. How does Harvard score in the second half? Limited to just 4 points. in quarter number 2. Ivy League Player of the Year candidate Harmony Turner limited to 5 points and 4 rebounds in the first 20.
Between these two teams in the first half was shot making. You see the field goal percentage there, but when you look further at the box score, tied with points in the paint, 14 apiece, tied at the rebounding battle, 15 apiece. And so it's really just the difference is making shots. Harvard got some open looks, and they just, because they were a little bit thrown off balance, didn't knock them down.
Our producers, Alex Bodner and Mike Galena. My broadcast partner, Maria Marino and John Moses. Thanks for making us part of your Saturday afternoon for one of the most highly anticipated games in the Yankton 8 this year. Fadima Tall begins the second half with a 3. Her first in 4 tries this afternoon.
What an opening statement out of the break for Fadima Tall.
Rodriguez is called for a travel.
Rodriguez looks a little bit befuddled. Harvard's really got to keep their cool here. Again, on offense, just being more crisp and deliberate with their movements to prevent some of those silly turnovers.
Ashley Chia directing traffic. 5 first half assists for her. Starting 5 on the floor for both teams. Tough catch inside. Turner comes up with the steal. Her second this afternoon, 4th in the nation in steals per game. Rodriguez inside. Against Parker Hill, she gets the roll.
Rodriguez, timely bucket. And I was just thinking before that play, I would love to see Harmony Turner let her defense fuel her offense. I think that's exactly what happened. Even though she wasn't the scorer on that possession, she gets the steal, they get the momentum up the floor, and they're able to get the basket as a result.
Anderson knocked it away. Turner, the pull-up is good.
And again, you saw Princeton playing to their identity in the first half with how efficient they are, field goal percentage. Now it's time for Harvard to play to their identity, forcing the turnovers, getting buckets off of those turnovers.
Foul in the backcourt. Elena Rodriguez really into the pocket of Parker Hill.
But I think if Harvard continues, and especially Harmony Turner, continues to focus on the defensive end, the offense is going to come.
That is Anderson distracting the inbounds.
I was wondering what that noise was. Was that audible over the air? I don't know. There was some screaming.
Atira called for a foul out top.
Harvard foul, charge number 6.
Katira, yeah, a little bit frustrated. Just like every time they kind of get something going, there seems to be something to stop their momentum.
Chia, Tall, Hutcherson, Hill, and Belker for the Tigers. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Hutcherson. Yes.
Hutchison has been so good today, just very poised, really clutch buckets. She is calling her number.
Anderson tries a 3. That's no good. Fadima Tall the rebound. Princeton pushing in the hands of Sky Belker. Her Turner forces the turnover.
Turner again.
Glenn Bello, no good. Turner is everywhere right now for Harvard.
This is what she's about. It's not just scoring. It's the wreaking havoc on defense, and it's the relentless nature of her rebounding.
Elena Rodriguez, heavy off the back of the rim.
Man,
rebound is knocked away.
Harvard would have loved to have that one. It was a great wide open look by Rodriguez. I think overall Harvard just needs to calm a little bit and don't get too overzealous. I'm interested to see, too, how this plays out, because if you remember last week when Harvard played Yale, they weren't up big going into halftime, and the third quarter is really where they opened it up. So I'm really looking to see some adjustments here in this third quarter.
Oh, goodness, Maria, you're talking about the cumulative effect
Right.
of that full court pressure. You see it right there with the turnover by Hill.
And only down 8, but when it's so hard to come by scoring because of this Princeton defense, it is concerning.
White, tough finish.
That
Able
helps.
to get Hutcherson off her feet. Patira, the good hand on it. She has been a thorn in the side of Ashley Chia in this game.
Chipping away, and you see the energy that comes with a big defensive play like that.
Christina Perello's into the game for Princeton, defended by Turner. First-year guard, Saddle River Day High School here in New Jersey. Perella in some trouble and is just able to break the timeline.
I give Perella credit dealing with that. I love to see that defensive energy from Turner. That's exactly what Harvard is going to need to turn this thing around.
Shot clock is at 5. Chia into her bag. She's trapped. Parker Hill beat the buzzer, and on we play.
A battle for the boards yet again.
Mismatches all over the place. Rodriguez. Turner comes to get it. Harmony Turner, yes.
Patel, it was pure the second it left her hand. Again, she finally has gotten some space. And
knocked it away from Perella.
It's being fueled by her defense. So amazing how that works. Once you start focusing on the defensive end, all of a sudden the offense, you stop thinking about it. You just start playing.
Abby Amanze, Sky Belker check in for the Tigers. Amanze being asked to dribble. Chia stepped out of bounds.
Just nowhere to go.
Timeout taken by Princeton. It is all Harvard energy-wise coming out of this second half. They've cut it to 4 with 5:38 to go in the third. At Princeton University.
Guess I shouldn't be surprised. Legendary.
Chia comes up with the steal out of the media timeout.
Ashley Chia's been a little bit quiet, I feel like.
Only 3 field goal attempts for Chia in this game, but she does have 5 assists.
That's correct.
Sky Belker with 5 on the timer. She lost it into the hands of Chia. Oh, it's a long 2 from the corner.
She heard me. She heard me, John. She was like, quiet? Who's quiet?
Chia broke that one free. Foul is called on Rodriguez.
Rodriguez can't believe it.
It's the second one just like that on Elena Rodriguez. And amazing, it was only a 40-ish second sprint, but all of a sudden the energy is different in this gym. Princeton by 6. There's a timeout on the floor after the make from Chia, which they will review during the media timeout. First guard off the bench for the Tigers in her first year, and now taking over as the full-time point guard. One of the best three-point shooters the Ivy League has to offer. Career best performance against Rutgers. That was one of those key wins for the Tigers right after the season-ending injury to Madison St. Rose. Tigers, in the immediate aftermath of that injury, suffered at Quinnipiac. Tall in some trouble, able to break the pressure. Belker, the ball fake, and finishes.
Great poise and patience by Princeton, and in particular, Sky Belker, to adjust with Turner closing in on her. But again, if you can withstand the beginning part of that pressure, you have a good chance of finding an open person down low.
White inside Rodriguez, perhaps the easiest bucket all day for Harvard.
You read my mind, John. I don't think I've seen any bucket easier than that one right there.
Fatima Tall dribbles through the pressure and scores it. She just goes end to end.
Makes it look so easy. Fatima Tall just so calm. No trouble dribbling right through that press.
Rodriguez gets to her spot but missed. Wow.
There's been a few of those for Harvard.
Foul on Anderson. She caught Chia on the side of the head.
So I think Harvard needs to try to find some of the momentum that they had gotten on their side at the beginning of the third quarter. We had 2 breaks, and it seems like that momentum and that energy has dipped. They got to stay with it. And you notice, like Harmony Turner, she was 2 of 9 in the first half. She's 2 of 2 here in the third quarter. She had an offensive rebound. She had a steal. Harvard's got to get back to that forcing turnovers, trapping like they're doing here.
Toby Nowecki, no good. Rebounded by Lydia Khatira, first-year guard from Greece. You can just see the maturity that she plays the game with great size at 6 foot tall. Working with Elena Rodriguez. Loose handle. Foul is called on Amanze.
The Princeton foul, charge number 3, Tabitha
Amanze looking puzzled. Chia with the hand on her shoulder saying, it's okay. It's all right.
Just the first team foul against Princeton in the third quarter.
You know, I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more fouls in this game, considering, you know, how physical it's been and how tight the defense has been.
Khatira. Heavy off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound, Elena Rodriguez. Harmony Turner resets. Senior from Mansfield, Texas. Blows past Nowecki. Krupa for 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Khatira had it ripped away. Tigers recover it. Chia's on the run. No numbers. Belker hunting hers. No.
There have been times where the sheer strength of the Princeton players has won them possessions.
Another easy hoop for Elena Rodriguez as Turner picks up her second assist. Back to a 6-point game.
Rodriguez just being a steady force. Ranks first all time in field goal percentage in Harvard program history at almost 56%.
We should note that whistle on Katie Krupa is the 5th team foul for Harvard. So free throws coming for Fatima Tall.
Finally. I mean, there's only been 3 free throw attempts in this entire game. 1 for Harvard.
What?
And 2 for Princeton, which they're going to build on right now. But I don't mind it because, you know, you don't like to see the whistle called too much, but they are really letting them play.
First one good for Fatima Tall. She and Hutcherson lead the Tigers with 8. Rodriguez, the game's high scorer, with 10. One out of 2 for Fatima Tall. Parker Hill chases down the rebound for Princeton. Hill has drawn a double and throws it away. Rodriguez the steal. And then Hutcherson. Goodness.
These teams are just, they are trading blows.
Harvard's a bit stagnant right now.
Yeah, clearly.
Krupa, deep 3. No good. Harvard struggling from 3-point range all day. They're 1 for 12. Foul on the rebound is against Princeton.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. Albeit on the floor. And, you know, normally I would say at this point, like for a player like Turner, attack and try to draw contact, but I'm just not confident that's necessarily the way that the game is going to be called based on how it's been called up to this point.
Rodriguez steps around Hill and scores it again.
So even right there, I thought Rodriguez absorbed quite a bit of body contact from Parker Hill, but good on her to play through that contact and not try to wait for the whistle.
Foul is on Parker Hill for the blind screen.
Foul charge number 22, Parker Hill. Hill's first personal, team's third.
I have to say, I would need to take another look at that one. I didn't see exactly what happened on that play.
I mean, Chia, like a blur, right past her, right off the hip. Rodriguez crosses. Turner shakes free of Hutcherson. Halfway down and out. Rebounded by Fadima Tall.
Tough.
Final 45 seconds of the third quarter. Tall. Hutcherson under 10. Pull up Jay. She's fouled. It's on Krupa, not giving her space to land.
That's unfortunate because Krupa has the size advantage. Let me see it again right here. Yeah, you know what? Krupa leaves her feet and she doesn't need to. She's already much taller. If she just stood straight up, kept those hands straight up, she would have been fine.
But in Krupa's defense, Hutcherson is such an athlete that
Yep.
you feel like you have to leave your feet to contest the shot.
I have to say, she has a lot of air on her jump shot. She gets up there. Also, I wonder if the refs started picking up what we were putting down, because I feel like they've called more fouls here in the latter part of the third quarter.
Did you just broadcast or jinx this game into a lot of whistles?
Maybe guilty on that. I said Chio was quiet. She scored. I said there's not a lot of fouls.
Well, Maria, what's going to happen next?
I'll let you know if I get a feeling.
Turner spinning, and she will shoot two.
So I appreciate the aggression there because, again, you know, most of the time, if you're aggressive, you will get the benefit of the whistle. However, I just think it's too hard for Harvard right now. Too much dribbling. That basket was way harder than it needed to be, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not seeing like the sets creating open looks. I'm seeing just a lot of dribbling, and it's not gonna get it done.
Discussion between the officials, I think, about mechanics of a substitution where the ball was given to Turner to start the free throw, and then both teams wanted to sub at the same time. Carrie Moore trying to diagnose things for her team. They've been better offensively in this third quarter. 14 points, even with Princeton. Mona Zaric is off the bench for Harvard and will replace Rodriguez for the final seconds of the third. And I think Glenn Bello was trying to sub in as well. Okay, so she's in.
Crowd getting a little restless here.
And it is a good crowd today at Jadwin Gym for one of the most anticipated games in the Ivy League this year. First one for Turner. She's into double figures. 4 of 12 from the field.
This is the loudest it's been all day.
Turner makes both.
I cannot overstate. It may seem simple, but Harmony Turner knocking down those free throws after that long pause and the crowd being extremely distracting. I think that is an underrated skill.
Deep three for Tall. No good at the buzzer. Well, Harvard inches closer. Knocking the lead from 7 to 5. 10 minutes to play at Jadwin. It's the Tigers by 5. Early stages of Ancient 8 play. Princeton leads. Let's see what else is happening around the Ivy League today. Big win for Columbia up at Cornell. Yale and Brown in a tight one that's a 1-point game. And how about the statement that Dartmouth is on track to make at Penn right now? They're up 14, headed to the fourth quarter in that one. Program building win for Linda Simino and Dartmouth. Picked in the bottom half of the preseason poll. But all 8 teams in this league are dangerous. You talk to every coach in this league, and they will tell you there's no easy game in this league.
Well, especially because there are so few teams. They all know each other so well.
Turner crossing Hill, shovels to Rodriguez.
Where have you been all my life? A play like that, I mean, Turner just dazzling, just distracting the defenders, leaves her teammate wide open.
Tall. Hill with a mismatch against Anderson, had it knocked away.
Princeton basketball.
That is one of the keys that Harvard has executed to perfection today, Maria, the way they've been able to step in and help against Princeton's centers. Chia for 3, no good. Hill has the offensive rebound and scores it.
Just when it feels like Harvard takes a couple of steps forward, they kind of get knocked back a step because of the efficiency of Princeton, and they're just so solid, Princeton.
Turner, no. Cleared by Parker Hill. Harvard really hanging around in the backcourt. That has been a problem for the Tigers to beat today. Hutcherson, the athletic catch. She's in some trouble and is able to clear the paint just ahead of a 3-second violation. Gia tries a 3 off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Sanaya Glenbello.
All things considered, Harvard has done a very good job on the defensive end. It's this end of the floor that they need to be careful about their shot selection and I think really be patient and try to get a good quality look.
Rodriguez is at the hot hand. Blows past Tall and scores it. She's asking for an and one, none coming.
Rodriguez, what a veteran play there. I love how she kind of faked the, talking to her teammate, come over this way. Never mind, I'm going to take it myself.
The Demons Hall spending a lot of time ball handling in this game. Dribbles into pressure. Glenbello saves it. Ahead to Harmony Turner. Had it knocked away by Chia. Turner throws up a wild shot and gets bailed out.
That could have been a real missed opportunity for Harvard, but credit Turner for staying with the play, just hanging tough. Now she's getting yet another chance at the line, and Harvard just trying to tie it up again and have the lead within reach here.
Yeah, it's something that we were talking about with Carrie Moore, that you look back at the individual matchups between Harvard and Princeton the last couple of years. Harvard's played with the lead in this gym quite a bit. Turner is 4 for 4 from the stripe in this game, the only attempts for the Crimson. It's a 1-point game.
Once again, just clutch free throws from Turner. This is what's keeping Harvard hanging around here.
Full court player-to-player pressure. Tigers beat it. Belker, just 4 points for her in this game, 3 assists. Tall with a size advantage on White. And that's out of bounds off the hand of Rodriguez, who would have had a steal.
Rodriguez actually has to laugh a little bit at that one. She had the ball right in her hands, and then the arms of Parker Hill kind of enveloped her.
Belker, Hill, 6 on the shot clock for Princeton. Belker gets a shot up. Fight for the rebound. Turner wins it.
How did Turner come up with that ball?
Glenbello, one pass too many, saved by Turner.
Again, Turner out of nowhere. It's like every time you turn around, she just pops up.
Turner. Nowicki knocked it away. Foul is called against Princeton.
You know, there might have very well been a foul on that play, but I do feel like. Let's see.
Oh, I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I mean, it still, regardless, it's kind of a bailout call because I just think Turner was getting too cute with the handles there.
It's into Krupa. Driving it on Hill. She's denied by Parker Hill. It's Princeton ball.
That is a great play by Parker Hill because not only does she disrupt, but she manages to keep the ball in play and keep it Princeton ball.
Tall throws it over the top to Ashley Chia, who dumps to Hill, and she's fouled by Turner on the floor.
Yeah, that was just a tough, really tough spot for the Harvard defense to be in. Chia, with the quickness, gets the step, and Turner is forced to leave her feet because she feels like she has to deny a shot. Smart of Parker Hill to draw the contact, although on the floor.
What is likely a short rest for Harmony Turner. 6.5 to go. It's a 1-point game. Belker couldn't handle it through the back door.
Every window of opportunity in this game has been so tight. It's just been literally a battle of inches. There's been no space given by the defense on either side.
Nia Glenbello measuring Fadima Tall. Tough shot, no good. And then Tall is hit by Krupa on the rebound. And that is the fourth foul on Katie Krupa off the bench. She is pretty much their sixth starter. And now she will play with 4 personals the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a challenging game for Krupa. She had the breakout game at Yale last week with 16 points.
Such a sense of relief from Harvard for Krupa when some of those shots went down last weekend in New Haven. Nowicki comes to get it. Defended by White, and she's going to the line.
Yeah, I saw the contact on the arm that time, and White's got to be careful. Definitely had a little something extra bouncing that ball afterwards, and I know it's super frustrating, but in these moments, got to just stay poised.
Well, it speaks to just how important this game is to Harvard. Here come the 2 starters. Turner and Rodriguez off the bench. They were off the floor for about 15 seconds there. Katie Thiers checks in for the Tigers, replacing Hill.
Yeah, I liked the decision by Coach Carrie Moore to give Turner a little bit of a break.
There's Toby Nowicki at the free throw line. She was the topic of conversation when we were chatting with Princeton head coach Carla Berube just about how tireless the work ethic is in practice. Tigers very happy with her progress defensively. 1 out of 2 at the line. Rocco comes up with the rebound. The lead is 2 for the Tigers.
You can tell Rodriguez is playing with a different amount of comfort this half. Much more in control.
White sneaks through, and we are tied.
Great job by White, but again, I really think Rodriguez kind of settling things down and setting the tone on that possession was helpful. But Belker with the answer.
A vintage play from Sky Belker, sophomore guard from Los Angeles, puts Princeton back in front.
You talked about how much this game means for Harvard, and I think it bears repeating. This program has not won a game at Jadwin Gym in over a decade.
And since January of 2014, Princeton and Harvard in a battle. 2-point game under 5 minutes to play. Lone loss this year at Quinnipiac. They've got a win on their resume in overtime at nationally ranked Indiana. But this is a game that Harvard has had circled on their schedule since it came out over the summer. And it has lived up to the hype. 2-point game under 5 minutes to go. Rodriguez, she's called for a travel.
I got to say, I thought she got hammered on that play. I thought one of the Princeton players kind of ran into her. But we've also seen a very physical game allowed this entire afternoon. So I'm not entirely surprised that we did not see a foul call.
Tall. Belker. No whistle. She scored it.
And again, on the other end, you could have argued contact on that play. I really compliment the players on both of these teams because they're playing through contact and they are not playing to the whistle. They're not waiting for the whistle.
Rodriguez gets the roll inside.
Rodriguez has been such a steadying force for Harvard, especially in the second half.
Elena Rodriguez has 18. Tall is in trouble. Turner's got the steal. Turner, the drive and kick. Patira, no good. Hutcherson called for a travel on the rebound. She took a hard fall. And I wonder if she's cramping right there, the way she's holding out that right leg.
That's what it looks like.
Great look from the corner.
I don't know how that's a travel, honestly. I mean, she caught the ball, landed on the floor.
Boy, it's got all the look of a cramp probably in that hamstring. Olivia Hutcherson back to her feet. She's had a great game today. 10 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, she's been great. Super efficient, too. 4 of 5 from the floor. It seems like whenever Princeton has needed a big bucket to, get the momentum back on their side, it's been her.
Sophie Nowicki checks in her place. She's got the assignment on Harmony Turner. Turner comes to get it. She tripped.
Wow. Good on her to recover that ball.
Anderson, one more pass. Turner trying to shake free of Hill. We are tied again at 46.
That was an incredible bucket by Turner. I'm just sitting here thinking they cannot get any space at all. That was such a tough shot for Turner.
Where do the Tigers go for offense on this possession, Maria?
It's a good question.
6 on the shot clock. Chia shakes free of Hatira and is fouled. Free throws coming for Ashley Chia with 3:08 to go.
Just mayhem. Just mayhem out there.
Harvard foul charge to Lydia Hatira. Her second personal, fourth.
It's an unfortunate foul by Harvard because Chia really didn't have anywhere to go, and again, sometimes if you're the aggressor, you'll get rewarded with that whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And I should say, too, good recognition by Chia, seeing where the clock was at and recognizing it had to be her.
Chia makes both. She's got 7. Back to a 2-point game.
Every possession so critical at this juncture.
Rodriguez begging for it inside. She's got size on Fadima Tall.
She needs a cutter. Or
no,
not.
she doesn't.
Or not.
20 points for Elena Rodriguez.
Just getting it done. Getting it done herself.
Under 2.5 to go. Chia comes to get it. Rodriguez the steal. And she's given Harvard the lead.
Elena Rodriguez. She has been so good this half, just bringing the energy on both ends. Really stayed with it. First half of the game, definitely Harvard was struggling from the floor. Second half, no bother.
That's the 5th team foul against Harvard. Free throws the rest of the way for Princeton.
Sky Belker to the line for your Tigers.
And it's Sky Belker to the line. Her first free throw attempts of the day. Belker, 2 big free throws late in Princeton's win over Middle Tennessee when she went 10 for 10 in that game from the stripe. She tied the game at 50.
These players are just so mentally tough. Game on the line, no problem. Just so poised. And just as we expected, we're in a tight game here.
Olivia Hutcherson is back for Princeton, defending Harmony Turner.
Nice to see Hutcherson's okay. She appeared to be cramping a couple of minutes ago.
Hatsira into a crowd. Tie up. Possession arrow to Princeton.
State basketball on the alternating possession.
Katira is talking to the official right now, trying to say she got hit in the nose. Harvard's got to be careful of letting any of the Princeton players break free to the basket.
Fadima Tall. No good. Fight for the rebound. A foul is called. What?
Sixth foul, charge number 22, Parker Hill.
Hill with a good hand on it.
Team's 4.
Above the head.
Did you hear that reaction from the crowd when that shot didn't go down? I was like, oh.
Great look for Fadima Tall.
The open looks have really been hard to come by on both sides, and I keep saying, you know, when that happens and you're not really in a rhythm, when you finally do get open, it's hard.
Turner for 3. No good. Elena Rodriguez with an offensive rebound for Harvard.
Who else? She has been doing everything.
Timeout, Carrie Moore.
Smart.
17 on the timer. What a second half it's been for Elena Rodriguez. She's got 22 to go with 4 steals.
I just can't say enough about her poise and just how she stayed with it. It looked like the first half it was going to be a long day, and she has turned around that narrative here in the second half just by staying relentless and persevering. And she has been so much more efficient here in this half. It seems like every time Harvard needs something, whether it's a basket, whether it's an offensive rebound, whether it's a big defensive play, Rodriguez is right in the mix.
What I find surprising is how Harvard has only one player that's taken free throw attempts in this game. That's Harmony Turner. She's the perfect 5 out of 5. But the three-point line has been dramatic. 2 for 13 for Princeton, 1 for 14 for Harvard.
Yeah, not a ton of fouls in this game in general, which I think has been a storyline of the game. But we have to remember, too, that Princeton has now gotten more free throw attempts because of Harvard getting into the bonus. And now, you know, Princeton having more chances to go to the line anytime there's a whistle. But again, I think a great decision by Carrie Moore to take a timeout here, knowing just how hard half-court offense has been at times and understanding where we are with the time left in the game, how crucial each possession is. Making sure her team knows the best way to get something and execute.
Turner and Rodriguez work it. Turner into the paint. No good. Chia had the rebound and then is tied up, and Chia hit the floor hard. Possession arrow in Harvard's direction.
I believe that was Hutcherson on Turner again, and I just have to say, yes, that was incredible defense by Hutcherson. Just kept the hand up, super disciplined, just making it tough on Turner. We talked to Carla Berube about that. Not going to stop her entirely, but just making every little thing she does tough.
Turner, no good from beyond. Rebounded by Fadima Tall.
It was a decent look, but now Harvard has to do what they do best and get a stop.
Tall. Hutcherson comes to get it. Belker. Working with Parker Hill. Belker to the pull-up. No good. She's got her own rebound. Timeout taken by Princeton with 31 seconds to go and 18 on the timer.
That's a winning play by Sky Belker. Misses the shot, but manages to get her own rebound. And again, a smart timeout, I think, from Carla Berube, just to reset her team, make sure they don't go running down the other end of the floor without having put more points on the board.
Well, this Princeton offense, 11 points in the fourth quarter. They're shooting 48%, 20 of 42. But Ashley Chia has had a very difficult time shaking free from Lydia Hatira in this game, Maria. And that is usually this is usually the spot where Princeton wants to get the ball into Chia's hands.
Right. I talked about how when we spoke to Carla Berube, she mentioned Chia sort of liking these moments. She's kind of just one of those players that likes to have the ball in her hands with the game on the line. But I agree, she just hasn't had a lot of looks. I mean, she's only taken 6 shots from the floor. She's 1 of 4 from 3. But what she has done exceptionally well, although I don't feel like she's had an assist in quite some time, but she does have 5 assists on the day. And she is certainly the most capable of finding, her teammate, any one of her teammates, in the best position for them, if that makes sense.
Toby Nowicki checks in for Hutcherson. It's into Belker. Tall wants it against Sanaya Glenbello. No good. Rebounded Glenbello. Timeout Harvard.
My word, this game.
There was that defensive stop you've been looking for Harvard. One of the best defensive teams in the Ivy League this year.
Yeah, Sanaya Glenbello, like you said, with the defense, I mean, huge, huge stop.
And with the change in possession, Harvard can hold for the final shot of regulation.
I don't believe, have they had the lead? I can't recall. It's been so many lead changes. And it's been so close here in the second half.
Largest lead in the game was 10 for Princeton. That was at the 9:07 mark in the third quarter.
Okay, so remember the last time Harvard took a timeout, they were not actually able to execute and score. Will this time be different?
It's into Elena Rodriguez. Turner.
So smart of Rodriguez to recognize that Turner was covered. She said, let me just get the ball in bounds.
Rodriguez inside with inches on Hutcherson. Rodriguez spins. Blocked by Hill. Tie up. Possession arrow to Princeton.
Wow.
Timeout Tigers. They can advance the ball.
Rodriguez was cutting on that play. I thought she could have received the pass a little bit sooner. Ends up having to go one-on-one. Parker Hill did, her hand fell there. I don't know if there was contact, but
she's thinking the same thing you're saying right now.
You could see there on that replay, she knows she dropped her hand, which sometimes causes the official to make a call. Again, I'm not 100% sure if there was contact. I just know that sometimes the officials look for that hand to drop.
I mean, Hill's contest was about as well timed as you could get. And what you're talking about is her swinging her arms to block the shot.
Correct. She was going for the swat right there. There?
Yeah, that looks like contact on the arm. Certainly a little bit of ball, no doubt.
But again, you have to. I have to credit the players. They have not been playing to the whistle. This is how the game has been called all afternoon. There has been um, very few whistles.
Here we go with 3.7. It's into Chia. She steps back for the winner. Yeah! For the moment, has won it for Princeton and ended Harvard's 10-game win streak.
I think it's good, John. The heartbreaker for Harvard. They hung in there all afternoon. And Ashley Chia, Carla Berube told us yesterday, she said she likes these moments